Now, this marks the first time in Graham history that they've had two wrestlers win states in the same year, and they just so happen to be brothers. They say that big things come in small packages. If you're skeptical of that, just take a look at the Senior League softball team based out of Bluefield, Virginia, a small town that only about 5,000 people call home. Well, last night, the Richlands basketball program hosted Marion for a showdown on the hardwood, but the focus wasn't on three-point shots, fancy dribbling, or sure-handed layups. It was on something much bigger than the game. West Virginia is a long way from Grant Witherspoon's home in Colorado, but he's hoping that his opportunity here in Princeton will help lead to an even brighter future. Hey, Mel, yeah, maybe freezing outside right now, but the competition is heating up here at the Big Atlantic Classic. We've got 3 big games coming up here tonight. Here's what I say, this is my pitch to Philadelphia. I will commit 13 years of my life for $329 million less than Bryce Harper did. Give me $1 million, and I'm yours for 13 years,
Just go try out, you got it.
I mean, the production may not be the same, but 13 years of solid commitment, $1 million, that's a bargain, All right. Well,
at least in the world of baseball.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, stay with us. Final look at your forecast coming up in a second. Nothing says that football is back in the two Virginias quite like the battle between the Graham G-Men and the Bluefield Beavers.
When you got a rival like this, it's kind of like similar to Ohio State, Michigan, or Alabama, Auburn, whatever. On a high school level, that's exactly what it is.
Well, I think it sets the tone for the rest of the season. I think that if you get this first one, then things will be on the up and up for you for the rest of the year most of the time.
The game has been dubbed the Battle of the Bluefields. Only 3 miles and a state line separate the two schools, and on the first week of each football season, they clash smack dab in the middle at Mitchell Stadium.
Like the week of the game, and we all talk trash to each other. But we know it's like whenever we step on the field, we're going to just battle it out and support our schools and just try to get the trophy at the end.
It's a lot of trash talk. As me as a captain, I try to tell people not trash talk because we do our talk on Fridays.
Now, the stands behind me may be empty right now, but come Friday night, it's going to be packed full of one of the largest crowds that these two teams will see all year long.
Oh, yeah, usually about 13,000 every year. Yeah, you just walk on the field, you just look at everybody, you smell the popcorn and everything like that. Yeah, it's an exciting thing.
Me personally, I try to look in the stats. I try to focus on the game, but it's really a big game when it just comes to the stands and people come out to watch.
The highly anticipated rivalry game will take place this Friday for the season opener. Here for you in Bluefield, Chase Parker, WVVA Sports. He's a trash talker.
Remember, when he goes to the carnival, he can't ride all the rides.
He's a motivator.
Toby, the Big Cheese Johnson.
He's the super fan of the West Virginia Miners.
Paul Billups is my actual name, but everybody calls me Big Paul.
Ever since the team was created, Big Paul has been an integral part of the franchise.
The inaugural season, 2010, my church group come to opening day, the first ever opening day of the Miners. I got a big mouth, and I was an instructor in the Army and know how to project my voice. So in the 9th inning, I got up and got everybody stand up, let them know you care and everything, and everybody responded real well.
Big Paul was at the end of the stadium. I was sitting in the middle, and I heard him screaming. And I got up and went, oh, my goodness. Walked over to him, said, Paul, what would it take to get you to stay here?
From that moment on, Big Paul and his family have sat right behind home plate, encouraging the team like no other.
If things start to get low, doesn't go our way, he's always getting us back into it and pumping the crowd up for us. So he's a big impact for sure.
He's every bit of the heart and soul of our team and this organization, and it's fun with him here. I can't imagine without him.
Is he loud? Yeah. A lot to handle? Absolutely. But Big Paul has become just as much a part of this organization as the players themselves.
He is more of an icon than any of the things that we do on the entertainment field. Big Paul is the West Virginia Miners.
Big Paul plans on continuing his legacy for years to come. Here for you in Beckley, Chase Parker, WVVA Sports. Now, sticking with Bluefield, it's basketball season now, and the Beavers have themselves a point guard named Braden Cruz that's been lighting it up all year. So I decided to test my skills against the young sharpshooter. Take a look. All right, so there's a lot of hype surrounding this guy standing beside me. He's averaging over 24 points a game right now. But who's the better shooter? Me or Mr. Cruz here? Let's find out. I gotta make one. What can I say? Yeah. And that is why I'm here talking about sports instead of playing them. Well, there's been a debate raging on all season about who the best AA team in the state of West Virginia is. Is it Wyoming East or is it Fairmont Senior? I'm Chase Parker. It's time to find that out. It's the state championship game, the senior class from East. Well, they won it before when they were freshmen against this same team, the Lady Polar Bears. One of those seniors, Jazz Blankenship, comes out on a mission. She scored the first 6 points for East off of a pair of threes. You think she's excited about it. They led 17-7 after one, but my oh my, how the tide turned in the second quarter. Lady Polar Bears closed the half on a 14-3 run, capped off by that Marley Washington's layup. And then more of the same came in the third. Courtney Wilfong fights through the contact for two, but Emily Saunders, she's the Gatorade Player of the Year. She goes to work inside. The turnaround jumper cuts Fairmont's lead to 4, but Fairmont would pull away again. Abby Faulkner steps back to put the Polar Bears up by 11. East would shoot just 1 for 14 in the fourth, and that was all she wrote. Wyoming East falls short in the state championship game, 39-51 the final. So definitely not the outcome that the Lady Warriors were hoping for. Our Nick Dugan was there, and he's standing by live with more from the big game. Nick?
Hey, Chase. Yeah, the Lady here for you in Charleston. I'm Nick Dugan. We'll send things back to you in the studio, Chase.
Thanks, Nick. Certainly some disappointing stuff right there. But while that game was going on, the Concord Lady Mountain Lions were up in Wheeling taking on Charleston with a trip to the Mountain East Conference Championship game on the line. And in terms of wins, the Concord women's team has never had a more successful season than this one with 23 victories. We start late in the second. Concord trails, but Adriana Poole puts up the mid-range shot, and the deficit goes to 7 going into the break, but Charleston got even more separation in the second half. Brooklyn Pinnell hits the 3 from the corner, and the Golden Eagles go up 50-33. Time becomes the enemy of Concord here, so Poole hits the long ball trying to get points in bulk, but Charleston just wouldn't go away. Rosia Farrington gets the shot to go from underneath. The Lady Mountain Lions' magical season comes to an end, 68-59 the final. And the Concord men are taking on West Liberty right now in the semifinal round. We'll have the results from that game coming up tonight at 11. That's it for sports. We'll be right back with a last look at your forecast.